Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Vaibhav Sharma, and today we have with us Advocate Bivas Chatterjee, sir. He has pursued his LL.B from Calcutta University and LLM from the Kakatia University, which is in Telangana. And Advocate Bivas Chatterjee, sir, is practicing from last 19 years before various district and high courts and across the countries and before the Honorable Supreme Court as well. He is impelled with the various organization and deal with both civil and criminal matters. Apart from this, he also deals with cyber crimes and the information technology related cases. He has also published several books and articles related to the subject. We are very obliged to have you, sir, here, and we are also obliged to have your time here. So, any opening remarks from your side?
To give you some corrections to simple, I am Divah Chatterjee, not Biswas, and I'm having more than 20 years of practice and 11 years in cyber law and electronic evidence sharing, and that is the point. So, welcome you everyone. Let me share my own ideas, what have I gathered in my pursuit as a law student and pursuing the professional career for the last 21 years or 21 years because I am the first generation practitioner. So it's a struggleful journey. And definitely cyber and electronic evidence as perspective as a completely new subject is more techno than legal. So I had when I started a senior who can help me or guide. So that's a huge adventure on my part to come and join with this field. Nowadays, people are started to be aware about this field, but when I started, the people was simply laughing at me. What will be the prospect of this subject in the days to come? So now people are at least realizing that the importance of the subject, and I will more realize in the days to come.
Thank you, sir, for your introductory remarks and how you joined this law as a career as well. So, we would like to know more about blockchains and Bitcoin certificates, like how one can obtain blockchain or Bitcoin certificates as a few, and and what potential you see in the Bitcoin as a legal tender in India for the coming future.
Look, the first question of yours is that I am a big supporter of blockchain because blockchain provides the very important cyber security to the ledger. You can call in the days to come, we're going to have smart contract. So smart contract is protected by the blockchain technology, the doubly hash technology, or we are using the concept of digital signature or electronic signature, and the data in the chain, the transaction data in the chain. You can see the transactions, but you cannot change, modify, tamper, or anything. So it's going to provide a huge security to the entire thing. But when the white paper on blockchain came in by Satoshi Nakamoto in the year 2009, people are not clear about the secret or the mystery of anonymity of who is Satoshi Nakamoto, whether a Chinese or a Japanese or an USA or whoever may be. But the point is, Satoshi Nakamoto has given a 9-page white paper, and that 9-page white paper has given the birth of the concept of cryptocurrency, popular cryptocurrency named as Bitcoin. I am from the day one, I am a strong protester against the spread of the concept of Bitcoin. Because you know there was a public interest litigation filed before the Honorable High Court at Calcutta. I was conducting that case before the on behalf of my client. So I had two simple questions apart from the other question as well. One is that what is the legality of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other? And secondly, if a crime being committed and the money trail is in the Bitcoin, how the investigating agency will going to track the offender or establish the money trail? So these are the some issues which is actually coming to the cyber security zone and other areas, and especially for country like India. India, why the cyber you all is a much buzzword in today's world. India is the second largest, second largest internet user. We have a second largest netizen to be compared with other entire world, because India has a huge population. And if the 60-70% of the population adopt the technology, it will have a huge impact of the entire nation's growth, GDP, thinking, mindset, the socio-economic culture, everything. So from that perspective, the proliferations of the spread of the cryptocurrencies and the large-scale investment by the common people in this sector may prove to be a huge scam in the days to come, because it's a completely deregulated, decentralized uh, technology. And I can understand from the price hike. Say in the year 2015-16, actually, I was heading a case on behalf of the state of West Bengal, where a ransomware attack was taken place. And after decrypting all the data, the one of the government concerns data was decrypted, and the ransomware demanded for 3 bitcoins. That time, the 1 bitcoin was of 67,000 Indian rupees value. So now you can say recently it's skyrocketed up to 45 lakhs, the value of one Bitcoin. So who is actually speculating the price, how they will become regulated, and all these as a very fishy or very dubious and mysterious entire aspects of scenario. And in that perspective, you can hear that for the last few months, from the last budget, the government of India has announced to introduce a electronic currency, uh, and which is going to uh, central bank digital currency. So that central bank digital currency, they will going to come with the in the market. Some for the retailer, some for the wholesaler, and recently there was a clarification to that effect by the RBI, concept note by the RBI. And we have gone through. I have gone through those concept note, and the people has a luxury to buy these, and these they can have that, and even those unbanked Indians who don't still did have the bank account. So these cryptocurrencies is definitely going to record or trace the entire and include those transactions within the periphery of the or the transparency of the banking system, the economic system, and that can even in the long term decrease the chance of black marketing or black money and all these things. Just to give the last of the last options. But India is not the first country who is thinking about the central bank digital currency. There are two, three more countries has already adopted, and 101 countries who are thinking on this, going to this, because there's a huge collapse. When after the 2009-10 bailout in different part of the world, they have resorted to cryptocurrencies because there's an inflationary they are taking it, because there is no inflation possible as per the algorithm provided by the bitcoins, because the number of bitcoins created to be stopped in the year 2140. So that stopped the inflations. The supporters of the bitcoins are telling, are processing in the market. But my point is very clear: if there is no control on that, I'm not in favor of strongly in favor of the use and spread and adoptions of Bitcoin or any currencies. But I'm strongly in favor of the applications of the technology called blockchain, because I think doubly has block will definitely going to secure our data in the days to come, and we can use the smart contract. The smart contract is a contract which is doubly smart, made doubly smart by two-way authentications or two-way hashing, the previous and the instantaneous. So from that perspective, a blockchain will, I think, going to stay, and these cryptocurrencies, I don't know how long it will stay. But there are a negative factor as well. There's another factor going against it, that RBI has come with the regulations, had come with the regulations of stopping all the transactions in the cryptocurrencies. But that regulations, that thing has been set aside by the Honorable Supreme Court single bench judge. And we are in a situation that we are in a doldrum, that whether it's legal or not legal, and the hoarders, the fraudsters are using that thing, and they are doing all sort of mischief or crimes, alluring people to make them millionary by investing in Bitcoin or like these cryptocurrencies. So from the perspective of, because I have more spent time with the law enforcement agencies, I have seen from the close distance the dangers of the use of these cryptocurrencies in the use of the crime or criminal money, starting from the narcotic drugs to anything else. And I think you all heard about the Silk Road and the use of the dark web, and because the absolute anonymity uh, by the person and the anonymity in the coins in the economic balance will definitely go on to harm the national security of the nation. So that is, I'm not in favor of that way in the Bitcoin or the state of the cryptocurrencies, but I'm definitely in favor of the use and the state of the smart contract, and the we can take that concepts from the Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. And from your second question, how the people are going to take a career to get certifications. There are a lot of companies who are actually providing, and there are a lot of organizations and institutions, including Indian IIT. Some of are actually, I heard in paper, they are providing certifications on the cryptocurrencies or like the blockchain and other things. But my recipe, my suggestions to all my friends is through this interview is that please take a certifications from the companies who are the king or the who are the pioneer in this field. Say for example IBM or any other companies who actually work on the big data or the smart contract or these type of things. So I have done it from one of these biggest multinational company. They have provided me provided the certifications on this Bitcoin as well as the um, cryptocurrencies and the blockchain. So I'll prefer to go by the industry experienced companies who are providing the, because if I give a simple example, I think we'll simply learn to know love to learn it. That is this our syllabus, our syllabus of say for example BTech in IT still includes a lot of the issues which may be not that updated. Say till 4 years of BTech, they are not having their hands applied in applications of or designing the mobile applications. But they're still using out of 4 years, 3 years, they've been taught the concept of Linux. So these are actually because Android is one version of Linux. So our syllabus is, I think, to that extent, is very much backdated. And since you are in UPS Dehradun, I have been to many times as a faculty, visiting faculty in Dehradun, and especially the you have a you have a course 6 years BTech in cyber law.
Yes, sir.
So I have been there in many a time to deliver my lecture. I have been invited by your academy many a time. So you can see that in your record. These are the new areas we should be taught. And if anyone want to, because I have done my 11 certifications, various subjects, starting from artificial intelligence and all this data, big data ethics and everything. But I rely only on either on Microsoft or on IBM or this type of companies. Only one certification I have done from Rochester University, that is certifications on cyber forensic. Apart from that, I've dealt with from cloud certifications and all. I have done it from the biggest of the big companies who are the pioneer in this field. Say, for example, if you want to learn the cloud, it's better to learn the cloud from a company who invented the concept of cloud. Say, for example, Microsoft is coming with Azure. So if you want to do a Microsoft certification, you can understand how the Azure is being modeled and how this concept of cloud is coming up, because it's from the perspective of a technological person. You cannot only deal with the technology, you have to see the result of it on the society, on the law, or the ultimate term, how can it regulates and be manipulated to use in different parts. So how, say for example, in case of cloud, the privacy and security is one of the big issues. I can enter in your cloud to get the things out, and thus I can disturb the others' privacy. So and again, it's a accepted word in the world of cloud technology. The cloud is not forensic friendly. So whenever you ask, say for example, it is now settled fact that more than 50% of our data on the virtual world are actually being within the custody of the cloud service providing company. So if any law enforcement agency want to have that data, so there is a big problem because the cloud companies are not maintaining their data in a forensic friendly way. So those data can hardly be admitted in the court of law. So how can you adjudge any criminal cases depending on the data collected from the cloud? So these are different areas and different new fields are coming up. See, I have seen a sea change, and every day I have seen a change because say for example in a single day I go to sleep with an apprehension that tomorrow morning I'm going to encounter another new things which may not be I have thought in the last night. So this is the sector. Actually, it's a booming sector, it's a big sector, and I'll request you whatever certifications you are doing, whatever skill, because artificial intelligence is going to play a big role in the days to come. Because we are no longer in the machine learning, we're no longer in the artificial intelligence, we're in the deep learning. So what you perceive, what you do, whatever your activities has been catched by your machine, by the analytics of the biggest of the big data analytics companies. So nothing is secret. And another biggest thing is actually our privacy advocates demand in the days to come. It's a big thing because any fundamental object like food, dress, clothes, and the shelter, the privacy, especially the data privacy. After the judgment came in the retired Justice Puttaswamy case, now the privacy, especially the data privacy, as a fundamental right and to be included by interpretation of the statute under the Article 21 of our Constitution. So big development is coming up. We are no way the separated or secluded country. We are within this. We cannot say that will return back after 1995, when the internet came in being. So taking this in our mind, for the law experience, for the law student, for the practicing experience, or whoever wants to do anything in this field, nobody can avoid this subject. So we have to go through this, and obviously, everyday study of technology is very much different.
Thank
So
you.
what's the next question?
My next question is that, like, you were appointed as the special public prosecutor for the government of West Bengal. We would love to hear something about that from you. And also, like, I just want to share a small thing. Like, when I was in Delhi and I was interning, I saw a very new concept that even the public prosecutors were on the contract basis, and that was not a government job. So, if you can give your reviews on the thing.
So you need to know the law for that reason. I think you are aware of that. Section 25 and 24 of Indian Penal Code provides the provisions of the appointment of prosecutor. So APP under Section 25 are the public prosecutor or additional public prosecutor and other. These are the permanent job holder under the government scenario. So they are the government employee. So they are standing on behalf of the governments on regular basis. But I am actually a special public prosecutor, and our appointment is done through under Section 24, subsection 8 of Indian Penal Code. So whoever is an expert in any field in the society or in the obviously in the legal field, they can be appointed on a case-to-case basis for a particular case, and he is a special public prosecutor for that or in charge of that particular case, and I am that person. But the interesting point about West Bengal is that the West Bengal is the only state and the first state in India who have thought that in the days to come, a dedicated public prosecutor is required in the field of electronic evidence and cyber law. So I have been approached by the top government officials or administrator in the year 2014, and they requested me to be a public prosecutor. If I am ready, they will engage me as a public prosecutor and I expressed my willingness. And believe me, that is one of the pioneering concept actually in the perspective of prosecution in India. So in India, Bengal is the first state who have appointed a special public prosecutor in this field, and I am that guy. I am that person, and believe me, I may be case to case basis, but the volume of cases now I am having, I am actually becoming a full timer. Practically speaking, because I don't find any time to do defense practice or particular defense brief, because the schedule or the engagement is so high, so hectic. Presently, I am having more than 150 very serious cases in different state of West Bengal, and all these are cases are actually a test tube experiment. I am telling it test tube experiment. Why? Because in every case, I am trying to project or trying to induce or infuse electronic evidence in many ways, so that the conscientious justice can be made. And believe me, electronic evidence never tell a lie. It's a 0 and 1. This patient doesn't understand except 0 and 1. So it hardly, if there is an expert who can manipulate this, there is other things. But otherwise, if we believe on the electronic evidence, giving a simple example, it's a long standing practice by the defense counsel in any previous matter or case, say for example, murder, rape, dacoity or other, to shift the PO, place of occurrence, by way of cross-examining different witnesses. So in this way, what I feel, lot of merited case has been resulted into acquittal. I think which is not good for our society, because if a person committed a crime, heinous crime, and thereafter roaming in the society scot free, that's a failure of the entire judicial system. What I feel myself. So from that perspective, I have applied electronic evidences in many fields so that PO can be established electronically. Say, for example, after when the investigation was started, the IO went to the place of occurrence where the crime was committed, and standing there, I can take from his Google map the latitude and longitude of that very place. And say, for example, today everyone, including the offender or the victim, everybody is using the mobile phone. So if has taken a call, then his or her CDR will be reflecting a location of his or her nearest tower with which it is connected. So now investigating agencies in Bengal are asking a simple question to the internet service provider, whether these lat long, the lat long of the PO, are being covered by the cell ID of that CDR, of the victim or the accused person. So in one of the heinous gang rape case in Bengal, a lady was mercilessly and repeatedly been sexually assaulted in a car, it's a moving car, and thereafter she was thrown out of the car. When she was thrown out of the car in the morning, early morning of the day, she came with one of the mobile phone of the offender, and her own mobile phone was kept in the car. So when we come with the decoded tower location of both that mobile phone, it was clear that on that time, on the 3 or 4 hours of that heinous journey, both the accused person and the victim was in the same place. So that can help us a lot. Just to give you a simple example, there are a lot of cases. In recent, in one of the murder cases in Bengal, I was conducting the prosecution. On behalf of prosecution, I have applied the Google search engine result, because after the commission of the murder, the offender was actually searching for ligature material, and ligature in this murder case, the iPhone charger's cord was used to strangulate her own husband. So that's in legal terms a ligature. So why she was searching for ligature material? That's a conduct under Section 8 of Indian Evidence Act. There are other electronic evidences were there. Lastly, in my latest cases, I worked on and applied natting concept, because you see there's a huge problem in the internet industry. Then whenever you are taking an internet connections or you are logged into with an internet ISP, your ISP is giving the same public IP apart from you other persons. So if a crime being committed, the IP will be traced. Then how will the investigating agency will differentiate between the victim, with the common people and the offender, because that same IP was given 10 to more than 10 persons at a point of time of a day. So it's a very huge problem. So last my bank fraud case, I think it's a reported all India level. On behalf of prosecution, I have applied the technology of private IP and the log files of the router to come with the conclusions how this public IP was generated, and this public IP can differentiate between the common people and the real offender. So these are the concept we are actually evolving in this field. We're experimenting every day, and these experiments become smoother because of the of a person like me is working dedicatedly only on this subject throughout the night, day and night. So that's the thing. Actually, I started my journey as a special public prosecutor since 2014-15, and till date, all big cases. Lot of cases are on the verge of completions. I've completed or the 17 cases till that has been completed, and all those cases has resulted into convictions. And the credit goes to obviously the electronic evidences, because electronic evidence is very penetrating, very clear, and if it's been applied in a proper way, it can never tell a lie.
So, sir, like you have delivered many of the lectures in cyber crimes, and also this is one of the most prominent topic of today's date. So, what is your advice, like if a person suffers a cyber crime, and what excites you to for on these fields of cyber crimes?
So, in the course of teaching or delivering a lecture, you are telling?
No, so like what drew your attention towards these fields, or like why you like cyber crimes as like area of practice compared to others?
No, I deliver lecture in different forum or different areas. The only reason is that I want to share my experiences, everyday experiences, what I got from the real market. You will find a lot of, I'm not belittling anyone, but my concept is very simple. I have seen a lot of experts roaming about, hovering around in our societies, but most of them is, I think their propositions I don't support. Copying, pasting something from the yeah, Google and anything, and making a presentable PowerPoint and then delivering lecture is not all about it. It's that thing that you need to apply those technologies. You have to come across the application, because when you apply a theory, be it technical, be it legal, you will understand the difficulties in applications, because there are a lot of conflicting laws come into play and come to play and interplay with each other, and this interplaying of with each other makes sometimes creates a huge problem. So how I solve those problems, how I can come through those problems, I discuss only those cases, those things when I interact with say various I in my best understanding, I have already covered more than 3,000, 4,000, 3,000 more law enforcement agencies, officers throughout India as a faculty, nearing similar amount of law students throughout India in different legal institutions. And I'm also a faculty of Judicial Academy in West Bengal. And I have also interacted with the other judges in different part of India. And also I'm a visiting faculty of Central Police Academies under MHA, and the Northeast Police Academy is a National Police Academy. And whatever way, and as I was a permanent faculty for CDAC and all this. So these are actually areas where I can get the opportunity to interact with these people who are ultimately the in USA law, in USA system is called the first respondent. When a cyber crime is being reported, the victim will first come to the police to file a complaint. So they are the first respondent. How a first respondent will collect the evidence, preserve the evidence, and present the same to their prosecutors in a presentable way, so that the legal concept, the parameters of a best evidence formula can be applied. Say, for example, admissibility, relevancy, completeness. These are all the criteria or hallmark of a valid evidence. So how he can handle those evidence? Isn't it not that they himself, if a little bit of latches on the part of any law enforcement agency can destroy the evidence they are collecting and preserving. So these are actually areas where I interact with these people. I think the best reason for why I getting time, or even today I'm giving a interview. The only reason to interact with the people by through the people to whom you're going to approach with these with my interview. They should also learn. It's not the theory which is important. It is how you apply the theory in the day-to-day work. That's the crux of the issue. And that is why whenever I get time out of my best hectic schedule, I always keep on doing my legal educations to the students and others, so that I can interact and share my experiences in every day. And even that I have a YouTube channel. I said from since 2019, I have seriously doing this as an YouTuber. Whenever I get a time, I upload some videos as purely on electronic evidence, cyber security, and cyber law, and all these things. And this channel is very popular without any ad or anything. It's been viewed by nearly 3 lakh people throughout the world. And I have recently started taking it very seriously. The reels in Facebook. I have a page in the name of Cyber Chatterjee, and also I'm uploading reels in my Facebook page named Divah Chatterjee. And I have one blog is called the cyberchatterjee.blogspot.com. And I have even tried to make my Twitter account so that it can be of purpose or used for people in the days to come. So in my LinkedIn, I also keep writing my blogs and others. So you can the students who are viewing this interview can go and be enlightened all this whatever I have shared in through those videos and interactions. So these are the areas I think I cherish to interact with the people.
Surely, sir, and we will be sharing your YouTube channel link in the description itself. Also, sir, like we want to know that, as you have done several publications, so what will be your advice to the young professionals who are interested and keen in publications?
Look, publication, the habit of publishing, or the instinct, it comes from within, because after having a hectic lifestyle, you have to have some time for keeping for those writings, and it's a very arduous and job of patience. You have to have a lot of patience in writing, because you can write something, then you have to verify it, then you edit it, then you check it, then you correct it. It's a lot arduous, and sometimes becomes very boring process. So I have, say for example, frankly speaking, for the last 3 4 years, I can't afford to put my hands in any publications. Whatever been published, it might 3 4 years earlier I have published all this. That time I have some spare times, and what I have my suggestions to all the aspiring students or the people who want to publish anything. In today we have the free publishing, so we have the self publishing. You can go for a self publishing, and if your resources are accepted, or interesting, then the publishers will definitely approach you for their own, and that can be paid also. That can be remunerative also. So whenever we're going to publish anything, we have to keep our mind on the copyright issues, intellectual property issues, innovative issues. Because in India, in everywhere, I think whatever you do, you have to come with the legal paraphernalia. It has to be legally correct, not only correct but legally correct. So those are the things and areas, and that's why I just forget to mention about another resources. In the last pandemic, when I got a lot of spare times, I was sitting at my house, and I that time thought that people are hardly reading books nowadays. They don't have time. They only put their eyes on the mobile screen and all this. So hours they are putting there on the mobile screens. So that's why I have come with some lot of mobile applications. I have designed all these apps under the Play Stores, and obviously all these apps are available presently on Android, not in Apple, because for Apple it's a $99 every year. It has to be renewed. It's a very much costlier. But for Google Play Stores, I have only $25 for 25 years. I have registered myself, and thereafter I have made a lot of apps, and I have designed all those in Java. And you'll see, you can go. There are one app which is for the higher end mobile phones. I've used a great technology into it. The one of the mobile app is in the name of Electronic Evidence. So I have translated the Information Technology Act in our vernacular in Bengali, which is one app in cyber law in Bengali. One app is very popular, cyber law in Hindi, and another app is cyber law in English. And my own one of the most popular app which I've designed is my app on civil procedure code. It's a completely designed and design code by me, and all our app are free. In my YouTube channel, there is no ad. I'm eligible for ad, but I have stopped it. So anybody can go and install that apps, because in my electronic evidence, I have shared 4 of my case studies in my prosecution journey, wherein the electronic evidence and cyber law has been applied. So you can go and install and read it, any of persons. And these applications are actually an alternative of books, because when you're on the go, you can read those apps. It's all informative app, and I have designed those apps for the people who don't have time to go through the books and read, and for these reasons. So books, apart for, I have some resources in the Android model, and anybody can go through this.
Sir, so, sir, since the data protection is one of the key element which is going on in our country, would you like to throw some light on the changing rules and regulations of the Data Protection Act?
Look, in India, we don't have any Data Protection Act. We have a bill going there for since 2019, Data Privacy Bill. Now, that bill has not seen the day of light till date, and we thought that the last winter session was going to be catch up, but it's not. Apart from in Indian perspective, today we have only single law, that is interpretative law, that is in the, which I already mentioned, that the Puttuswamy, the retired judge Puttuswamy judgment, wherein we have found the interpretation.
Yes, sir.
Please. Privacy, especially the data privacy, is a part of fundamental right. So that is one of the things. If that is being executed in many ways, we any breaches of your data, of your personally identifiable data, which is actually the breaches of your fundamental right. And in that perspective, you have a writ remedy under 226 before the Honorable High Courts in India, various High Courts in India, and obviously 32 of the before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, Article 32. So these are the remedies we only now have. And another remedy we definitely have, that is Section 43A of Information Technology Act. It provides that any entity who is actually having your data and does anything, or taking any latches or anything which actually damage your reputations or whatever way, then you can ask for compensation, and you can go to the cyber adjudicator up to 5 crore rupees compensation, and above 5 crore rupees, you can go to the nearest original senior civil jurisdiction, civil court jurisdiction. So that's the option we have till date. But internationally speaking, which is actually the pioneering object, I must mention, is that of the biggest legislation throughout the world have ever seen, is that of the GDPR. So this GDPR of Europe has shown us, this EU actually from long, they are very active on protecting the privacy of individual. And when the smart world came in, when the virtual world has this huge areas in our day-to-day life, then the privacy become more acute, more severe, more important, and more dangerous as well. So from that perspective, the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations, are actually a big step by any world legislature. And our data privacy law is actually almost replicating whatever I gone through the bill of the GDPR. and the GDPR is definitely equivalent law if it comes to in India. And if not, the law comes into India, the companies in India who are dealing with the Europeans' data, they also comply with the GDPR norms. And for that reason, they have to be learned and taught what are the GDPR or the privacy laws throughout the world. It makes sense that Argentina has come with their data privacy law. The CCPA, the California state has come with the CCPA, the Data Privacy Consumer Protection Act. India, we are at the national stage of only the bill, and there are other countries who are working very seriously on it. And data privacy is definitely a very important legislation going to come. But when this data privacy law will come in India in a codified format, there are a lot of issues in favor and against will come up. Say, for example, Indian companies are not ready to execute straight away or in a proper way all the international legislations of the data privacy uh, acts or regulations we have are existing in today's world. So, say for example, there are a lot of call centers who are doing the fraudulent jobs. I think you heard about from every day reading the newspaper. So they are actually playing with the data of the people, maybe sometimes the European people. So if anybody files a suit or any case or under this the Data Privacy Act and all this under GDPR regulations, then the amount of punishment, monetary fines can extend up to 20 crore euro and all this. So 20 million euros. So these are 4% of the GDP global annual turnovers, whichever is higher. So these are a huge monetary penalty may that resulted into that companies cannot stand still in the days to come. So that's why the reason is that I have given a straightaway letter to government of West Bengal to enlighten, sorry, the various IT related companies, IT or IT enabled industries people, and the government has accepted my proposal, and I had 2.5 hours entire session with those companies head, and we're going to find it in YouTube, and that has also been adopted by the government of West Bengal IT websites. So now on our way we are working on it, but there are a lot of issues. Say in India, we are not at all concerned about our privacy, and you are going to make the anti-privacy or privacy breach as a non-billable, cognizable offense amounting huge fines and up to 3 years imprisonment. And for that reasons, and that is why in every privacy law there is a preparation period of 2 years. In GDPR, there's also preparation period. People have to be prepared for taking that law seriously, and that is also there in our bill. So after this coming up, this bill will have to wait 2 years to execute this act and all this. So and very interesting and peculiar things are going to happen when the Privacy Act will come in India, because we keep our money in the locker. We keep our deeds and valuable documents in the Almira locker, but we are hardly careful about our data, which is actually loitering in the virtual world. So, what will be scenario how the Indian perspective, Indian society will react to that act? It's a very interesting phenomena to be seen in the days to come.
True, sir. Sir, coming to the end of this interesting interview, the final question would be that are you hiring any interns for the time being, and what are the qualifications you are looking forward for an intern to intern under you?
Look, I keep hiring people or interns many time of the year, specific rules and regulations. The person who has a passion, because I don't think it's a profession no longer to me, it's a passion to me. So the people who have passions can freely interact with me, and they can interact with me, and they can join me, and whatever I know, because even I am a student of law and technology. So till the end of my life, I'll remain as a student. So definitely, this student-student approach is a very good for a good learners and for a person to prospect in any field. So the persons who willing to contact and join my chamber is actually welcome.
Thank you, sir. So by that we come to end of this interview. It was great to have you here. It was great to have your time here, sir. So with on behalf of the whole DS team, I congratulate you and wish you all the best for your coming deals and deeds. With that, sir, all the best for your coming journey and have a safe and healthy one. Good day, sir.
Thank you, everyone.